Stan White was the teacher that taught the introduction and landscape design courses. But he was just a genius that could get you to really think and feel and emote about the profession and how to approach it, and in a very romantic kind of loose way. He could just be pulling you and pushing you, and some of his antics in the rooms, in the drafting rooms, are just, they've got to be retold and recorded. We're doing all-nighters. That's inevitable in a design studio. You know this from doing them. And it's like 12 at midnight or something, and Stan comes in and he's all dressed up. He'd been to the symphony, something like that, and comes in and we're all slaving away there. And this one student had inadvertently spilled a cup of coffee on his drawing over his, and this was stretched German watercolor papers. So Stan just grabs another cup of coffee and goes up to the top of the board and just pours it, just starts laying a wash over all of the students' work, you know. That's one. Another time, maybe the same night, another student who was very meticulous and used his desk brush all the time and never got any graphite on his drawing or anything. Why, Stan just came in and looked at this, and he just went down to the floor and just went all over the floor with his hands. And of course, in those days, everybody smoked. The cigarettes were smashed. He gets his hands like this, and he goes to the guy's drawing, and he just goes all over this drawing, and this student is about to die. And then Stan gets an eraser, and he pulls out the highlights, you know. Well, those are just some of his gimmicks, or tricks, or he was a real trickster, a coyote person. I finally got my mustering out pay from the Army, and I bought a war surplus Jeep, and so I decided I would take that, I think it was $500 or something, you know, and I'd do the grand tour, my own grand tour. So Stan was up for it. He did go on with his wife to Cambridge and to Harvard. So I met him up there, and then we took about 2 weeks off, and we went up to visit E.B. White, his brother, met Buckminster Fuller. Oh, I just had a wonderful time camping out along the road. I stopped by Harvard, and I met a man there working, slaving away, and it was Ian McCarg, and he took me out. We had beer then. He just put his work aside. He was working on a dual degree, I think, in planning and landscape. We just went over the square and drank beer and talked. He was a complete stranger to me, you know. But so that was a great experience, touring New England with Stan White. And then a couple of summers, or was it the next summer later, I went with Hideo Sasaki in that same Jeep, open Jeep, driving from Champaign, Illinois, all the way to California.